Relic D. It does a body good. Assuming said body is Relic 9. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Today we're going to talk about, should we prepare for Relic Delta? The thing the internet is embracing with open arms, so they can potentially strangle it. A huge shout out to my patrons, who I don't want to strangle. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support, guys. You are amazing, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount the algo, shall we? Don't worry, the algorithm is not it's not Relic Delta yet. Not yet. Maybe eventually. Who knows? Let's get into the game here. It's honestly, guys, it's Hell Week, and I'm not gonna make a ton of slides this week. It's so much work. I'm already red crated though, so that's pretty awesome. Anyways, let's get into the game. Whoa, we're in the game. Madness. This is high effort, you can tell. It's all prepped. Here we go. So, I did actually write some notes for this, though. I've been using this a lot lately to organize my thoughts. So, what are we doing about Relic Delta? I mean, first off, I realize it's not a popular thing in the community. People don't like it for various reasons. People are upset. People are threatening to quit. People are already quitting, which I respect anyone. If you ever want to quit this game, you just should. I don't think anyone should feel like they have to stay for any reason, but I do. People are quitting this game already, and I mean, I tend to think that people who are already quitting are quitting not because they are so sure Relic Delta will suck. It's just like the last straw on the camel's back, which, I mean, that's tough enough. We've all been one straw away from quitting multiple times on multiple fronts, I'm sure. But anyways, Relic Delta, it looks like it's gonna happen. They've been developing it for a year. They have not given us a new relic level for 4 years, which is a crazy number, actually. I didn't even know it was the full 4 years. It's madness. So what can we do about this Relic Delta thing if it's actually going to come into the game? Because a lot of us have played this game for long enough to know that a new update goes through a lot of times, at least big changes in these updates go through kind of a cycle, right? A life cycle of doom and gloom. The game is going to end. We're all really mad at CG. We're assuming the absolute worst. And then it comes out, and it's not quite as horrific as everyone seems to think. And people still badmouth it for several years moving forward. We still have the great nerfing that happened all those years ago that people still reference, even though the changes were they actually made some of the characters significantly better from that. But anyways, we go through this cycle, and in the meantime, I suppose we should probably talk about what do we do to prepare for it, because I think if it's going to show up, which I just don't think that the Reddit petition that has 5,000 signatures, I just don't think that's going to be enough to sway CG from making a potentially sound business decision on their end. So, I mean, I'm not saying I love Relic Delta. I have no idea if it's going to ruin the game or not. I truly hope it won't. And I am genuinely concerned about what the proceedings are going to be. However, I suppose we, let's look at what things are going to happen when Relic Delta occurs, right? So, how much should we prep? I mean, the only prep a lot of us need is to delete this game and just go just download Raid Shadow Legends. Frankly, I mean, I think that's probably all most of us need. They're not even sponsoring me, guys. I'm just wild today. I'm crazy. But no, but how much prep should there be? Should there be just none? Like, no, everything's gonna be fine. Everything's just gonna be business as usual. I think this is gonna be a pretty big shift, regardless of what happens, what the final numbers they decide on for Relic Delta are. I think it's going to shift things, and especially in PvP. I think PvE is a little bit safe, frankly. I think PvE seems like it's gonna be fine. I could be wrong. We could all be wrong. I don't know. That's what it seems like to me so far. I think PvE is going to probably benefit from this a little bit, or at least we'll benefit from it a tiny bit. Maybe it'll be awful moving forward afterward. But and anyways, I guess the idea here is we should prep a little. And, you know, people are like, dude, I'm not going to spend a single relic at all on my whole account. This is my Prevail Man account, by the way, guys. I'm not going to spend a single relic. I'm not going to upgrade any characters. I'm not going to spend any money. And understood. Yeah, get it. I mean, you don't have to spend money. I never try to pressure people to spend money. I try to discuss that option if people want to spend money. You know, there are good, effective ways to do that in the game, or some ways that are more effective than others, I should say. But beyond that, like, what can we do? Like, hoarding is honestly the most miserable thing in this game. And I think CG actually recognizes that it hurts the game, in the sense that every time a new update comes out, they're like, dude, don't hoard that. Like, stop hoarding things, just spend it. Like, we're sick of you guys hoarding all the things. Like, they have caps to all these currencies now. And I don't blame them. I think that to play a game that you're trying to upgrade your teams and your roster, and just stop yourself from doing that. Some people have the right mentality for it. I don't. I want to be upgrading my stuff. Like, why should I play a game where my roster just stagnates and doesn't get better? That seems miserable, and not, like, it seems counter to the reason I want to play this game. And I think a lot of people agree with me on that. So what do we do? Like hoard like some of the stuff. I think spending high level relic materials should go through a certain process of like kind of screening for yourself. Like, first off, is it for PvP reasons? Maybe pump the brakes on that. I think PvP is the thing that's going to change the most from this. I think that certain teams are going to get a whole lot better, and certain teams are going to get a whole lot worse. Certain character types are going to be a lot better. Like, at first glance, it seems to me like if your opponent's team is doing a ton of damage to you extra because of Relic Delta, maybe the best idea is to get a tank that is perpetually taunting up to Relic 9. So then he's just taking normal damage. And then the rest of your team can kind of find mechanics, ways to win. You know, maybe upgrade your, like, one huge damage dealer to also like be able to do normal damage, or even like enhanced amount of damage if your opponent's team is just a mere Relic 7 and you're Relic 9. You just can delete them, right? And so but we don't know precisely how that's going to work. We don't know what the final numbers are, and it might just really end up screwing you to make assumptions about the final numbers for that. Now, there are things to spend relics responsibly, and that is relics also unlock content, right? Like, that's the other use of relics. Like, they give you some stats, and then they let you unlock content. They let you unlock characters, ships, whatever. They let you get into better levels of assault battle. They let you get to higher levels of territory battles, etc. And I think that if you're going for the characters that are going to unlock content, it's like, okay, look, I have to get my Malik to Relic 9 regardless, right? Because I need to unlock, eventually I'm going to need to unlock Leviathan, and therefore I need to get Malik up to Relic 9. Like, to me, that seems like a pretty safe thing to upgrade. Like, is it because he's a really awesome tank? No. I mean, he's cool as a tank. He's fine. You know, he's got a racing stripe on his head. I mean, his loincloth, I feel like every time you give him a relic level, I feel like the loincloth should like just kind of get just a little bit more over the top, you know. Like this unrealistic loincloth is already unrealistic. Like I feel like they should just change that every time you relic level him. It just gets, it enhances that loincloth. So you know, I feel like some of these characters should you get Malicos more relics, probably just pause on that a little bit. I mean, do what you want, of course. I don't care. Like do what you want, but it seems to me that Malicos is good in GAC and mediocre pretty much everywhere else. I mean, he's got a target on his chest, like, and he is honestly maybe winning the loincloth contest with Malik, if I'm being honest. Like they that's I'm actually not even mad. That's amazing. So you know, what characters should you upgrade? I think things that unlock content, because that's not gonna stop. Like they're not gonna just suddenly be like, oh, by the way, all these relic requirements for these galactic legends that have been around forever, suddenly irrelevant. You don't need them relic. Just go unlock the galactic legend. Like, no, of course that's gonna make sense to work on. So to me, those are the relics that you apply right now. And if you want to do PvP, just do it at your own risk. Like my alt is working on Trench and Watt right now, that just to be able to use the datacrons. And I mean, I know that's a risk. I think that it's you know, it's just something I'm willing to take on. And if that ends up being a blunder, if my Relic 1 Trench can't just somehow beat Relic 5 teams, I guess I'll just get sad a little bit. Because Focus Datacrons, you don't need high relics for them to work. Though apparently now you do with Relic Delta. You can tell I do love the idea of Relic. I don't. Okay, so anyways, the other thing you can do, and I don't know how impactful this is going to be, but remember, they said that we're going to get we're going to get new signal data, we're going to get new materials to unlock things, to be able to get Relic 10 and everything, and we're going to get droid brains in the scavenger. And so you know, we have this big list of gear that we can you know, that we can make all these different materials from. And I guess the thing that has me questioning, like, what should we actually do? I think making sure we have some of the gear that is usually not needed. You know, I think that if you have the right materials for that, the right currency available, that trying to keep a good stock on some of these things may end up being really nice. Like if we're going to be able to use gear to create signal data, I don't know exactly what gear it's going to be, but using like your squad arena currency to buy all this gear, some of you just already need to do that and already do that, but I think that could actually be really beneficial. Like just trying to keep a good amount of that gear. Now, if you're gonna spend a lot of like your really expensive currency, like your good stuff, like the guild, what's this, guild tokens. Like if I wanted to spend, I need Carbanti on this account still. Isn't that crazy? But like this isn't a good deal. Like spending 760 on this Mark 10 blast tech weapon mod salvage. Probably not a good idea, and you're gonna have to use your own discretion. I'm not gonna make a video on the most efficient things to buy, frankly, but I do think that spending some of your currency on pieces of gear that you'll eventually need may end up being really good. So I think getting some gear that could turn into something good, it would be nice, and just upgrading characters that are safe. And I think that's it, honestly. Otherwise, I just don't think people should be hoarding stuff, typically. I realize that some very good players, very successful players, hoard things, and they're win a lot at this game. They're very good. I just also think that that takes an incredibly disciplined player that takes this game very seriously, and that's fine. You should take it as seriously as you want. I'm not gonna like tell you you suck for taking something seriously. I guess I'm just saying a lot of people don't have that mindset, and they don't want to play a game to like, they don't want to have to exercise an enormous amount of personal discipline in order to succeed at this game. Like, I would rather, honestly, I would just quit this game if someone was like, look, you can't upgrade your characters in the next 3 weeks, like that, like, you're not allowed. Like, that we're putting a moratorium on upgrading character. Like, what's the point? I don't want to. I would rather work on Trench and assume some risk, frankly. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not saying everyone should do that. I just think if it's going to like hurt your ability to enjoy this game, then just like play it safe. Upgrade characters that you need to unlock content in the raid or whatever. But otherwise, or just upgrade like Bad Batch, because I just put out a video about it, and you know, that obviously they're super safe. They might not be. Anyways, folks, I think I'm gonna let you go here. What do you think we should be doing to prep for Relic Delta? And don't say to delete this game and download Marvel Strike Force. I already said Raid Shadow Legends, so I already told you with that direction. I don't care, guys. Please let me know in the comments, though. I would be interested. Maybe I missed something. Even as I hold the office of sole arbiter of truth, sometimes I am fallible, and sometimes I forget things. I would love to hear your thoughts, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xeris prevails. And I hope so. I hope you do too. And frankly, I hope Relic Delta does too. I hope it's awesome for the player base. Take care, guys.